Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to We Are Growth Hack YouTube channel. We are going on a rampage here on interviewing all of my Amazon friends, and I'm really glad today to have on the show Chris Thomas. How you doing?
I'm going great, David. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome, and I'm very glad to talk to you. And you're based in where are you right now?
I'm actually in country Victoria in Australia, near Melbourne, a few hours out of it's a big city in the south of the country.
That's
So,
cool.
mm,
So yeah, I actually met Chris at the Global Sources Summit in Hong Kong in 2018, I guess. Yeah, we were both speaking at
yeah,
the event organized by Magla, and he gave amazing tips. And yeah, today we're gonna talk about something interesting that Chris has recently done. He exited his Amazon business, so congrats on that. And why don't you share a little bit? Um, about yourself, who you are, how did you get to, sell your business, and if you can give any tips to any Amazon seller who wants to potentially in the future sell their business.
yeah, sure. So super quick because I know it's boring when people talk about themselves, but so my name's Chris Thomas. I run a group called the Australian Seller on Facebook, and I also have a podcast as well called the Australian Seller Podcast. And I've been selling on Amazon since probably 2014, the end of 2014, I think. So that's been very successful. And in 2019, I actually acquired a business, a distressed Amazon business, for about $10,000, $10,000, and within about 9 months, I was able to turn it around, and I was able to sell it for it's about 110,000 with stock in the end. So it was a pretty good exit after 9 months of work.
It's amazing.
That got me. Yeah, it was pretty. Look, it was a great opportunity, and yeah, it just needed tidying up a little bit and sorting out a few things with PPC, tightening the reins a bit on some of the spend. But so from there, I also had my main business, my main Amazon business, and that was a combination of e-commerce. So it had a website, and it also had an Amazon account, obviously, which was a global account. So there was Canada, there was US, there was Europe. It was everywhere. So I decided to exit that business last year in 2020. And that took a long time to sell because it was also a little bit distressed. And one of the reasons why I wanted to sell it was because I wasn't passionate about it anymore. I've been doing it since 2014 and just lost the passion. So I think it's interesting. I actually had an opportunity to sell that business maybe 2 years ago for about 5 times more than I actually sold it last year.
Wow.
So yeah, so that I had an offer on the table and I didn't take it. I thought I could, I think
Yeah.
the tip I have is that, when things are really going well and there's a really strong growth curve and it's in the upward direction, that's the time to sell. Leave a little bit for somebody else at the end. For me, I was trying to sell a company, sort of was a little bit flat, maybe even declining slightly. So that's people don't want to catch a falling sword,
Let's get a little bit
So
more into the details, Chris. I just want to ask you one more question about this. But first of all, I want to remind each one of you guys, if you didn't do it, just click the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment here on this video. We need to grow. We still have a very limited number of followers, a very little number of followers, and we provide videos every week, hopefully, or every other week. And check out also our blog if you didn't do that. So Chris, I wanted to ask you, can you tell us from a seller point of view, like
mm.
I never sold an Amazon business, and I know a lot of sellers, but what were the numbers before you entered this business and after you left the business? So what kind of growth did you make for this account?
So when I first started on Amazon, it was doing about $250,000 a year, US, and it was probably making a profit of it was very good margins on this product because it was a proprietary product. And it was also a product that I'd kickstarted in 2013. So I actually had already proven that the product would be successful through a crowdfunding campaign. And so when it hit Amazon, it really just took off. So by 2016, I'd sort of grown the product range quite heavily and variations on a theme, I suppose. So by that stage, the business was pushing up towards, 7 figures. Didn't quite make it, but the margins were also still very healthy. So it was a pretty good year in 2016. And that was when I had that opportunity to sell.
Mm.
sort of from there, it started to, that's when I sort of started getting a little bit bored with it. And then I wasn't really innovating, wasn't creating more products. And so things started to flatline, products got stale, more competitors came in.
Yeah.
You know, the usual kind of story. If you're not constantly working on it, then things can really start to decline. And that's what I experienced. Yeah. So that was that. So that's to my tip. Yes. Get out when the gun's good.
That's an amazing tip. I mean, if ultimately your goal is to sell your business, just get out at the highest moment. You might, if you got presented an opportunity, that opportunity might not come back, even though the trend is going up, but you might never know. It's like playing with stocks, So it's a really interesting. It is actually a stock. It's an asset that you are you're working on, that you're making yours, and you're growing every day. But you actually never know. So actually, you touch a very important aspect here, that is constantly working on your account, constantly working on your products and adding different products. This is something that I see every day, especially with the smaller sellers. And this is something that we keep repeating. I keep saying, do not focus only on one product. Try to grow your portfolio as much as you can, because it will give more trust to your customers. It will give more information to Amazon to play with. It will give you more different honeymoon periods. It will give you a lot more data to play with. So do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's diversification through adding extra products and potentially other marketplaces is really important. And I think that's, it's definitely something that you need to be doing all the time. And I guess as well, stay focused on your business. Even if it's a bit boring, I think just stay focused on it and get out. If things are starting to get boring and you're getting interested in doing other projects like I did, I was being distracted a lot and shiny objects and things, then that's a time I think that you need to talk to yourself and say, look, I think I need to exit. And, if you're just not giving it everything it needs, that 100% focus. So that's how I sort of, that's the lesson that I've learned from my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You need to be focused. And, even for me as an agency owner, trying to find new clients, trying to provide the best content, the best value to my listeners, to my readers, we constantly work on our blog. We had our prediction for 2021. Last year, by the way, I've been on the show with you on the Australian Cellular podcast talking about prediction for 2020. We couldn't imagine that COVID would hit us so bad. So here we are now having these virtual meetings.
Yes.
So talking about diversification, why don't we talk a little bit about, entering new marketplaces? Because we always say that you shouldn't put all of your eggs in the same basket. You should also look at other different marketplaces. And I know someone told me that you're actually crushing it in Europe. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so that was something that came up. It was actually my brother has a European Amazon seller account. So obviously with Brexit, the beginning of this year, 2021, those accounts were kind of separated in a way that we had to. My brother at the moment is setting up for VAT in Germany so that we can trade legitimately throughout the rest of Europe. But at the moment we just have the UK. But for a while we had them all when it was all the same. So with my brother, what we've been doing is partnering on products that we source from Amazon in the United States, and we sell them in Europe, and at the moment just in the UK. So the way that worked, our very first one, obviously I can't tell you what it is, but I have a friend and he has a very successful product on Amazon in the US, which has about 1,300 reviews. It's a very popular product. It's also a proprietary product, which is really attractive, that he created himself, which is why we're friends, because we're kind of into that. Okay. So he was happy to wholesale his products to us, to me and my brother. And what we did was we basically created the listing. It's the same listing effectively, but created it in Europe. So all the reviews came across from America. There's 1,300 reviews, literally just from the get-go. We got our inventory and we just turned on some PPC and the product exploded in Europe. So we've got another product in the pipeline, which we're really excited about, just by casting around and asking people if they're interested in selling us their popular and successful products out of America. So I guess in a way we're just experimenting with this idea of international wholesale And we're also sort of offering it in a way that if you have a successful product, we can be like the canary in the coal mine. So we'll test the market over in Europe, for example. And if it works for us, if you just give us a year so we can at least get our money back on our investment, and sell through, then we would prove to you that the marketplace is a safe one to enter for you. And then we will back out and you can just pop in and take over,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So that's our loose goose model at the moment.
That's really great. It sounds really interesting. So I definitely encourage everyone who would like to approach this, this new project in Europe, starting from the UK, to definitely get in touch with you. It's a very low investment. Actually, you wholesale your product, so you just have to win here. There is nothing to lose, and you just, enter the market. This is really interesting because I could potentially help you too, because we provide services for all the European marketplaces. So if there is a seller that's interested in, and they don't want to deal with the pain of doing everything, we can also provide, we do product launches for Italy, Germany, etc., France. So definitely this is something that you can look into for the UK. It's a painless process to put your product out there. And then you can also, get back the right of selling the account if you want. So this is really great. What I'm noticing right now is that there are many different new kind of services for Amazon sellers. So now that we have this kind of service like bring your products in the UK without any pain. Someone like Chris might do the job for you. They have the account, they do the launching and everything. This is amazing. And, I just think that where this whole industry is going, selling on Amazon is just amazing. It's taking over the entire universe.
Yeah, it is. It's but it's also getting a lot more serious than it used to be. There are a lot more rules and regulations Amazon's cracking down. I think we spoke off air about how Amazon is becoming a much more, I guess, regulatory and compliant business, and they expect that sort of professionalism and compliance from the sellers that operate on their platform. And just by extension from that, we're also seeing, a lot of these aggregators, a lot of big investment companies that have raised a lot of capital that are coming in and either buying Amazon seller accounts and then rolling them up into one giant account. I was working last year with Mark Rocker and the team over at Alpha Rock Capital, consulted with them for a little while on some of the businesses that they're acquiring. Really boring kind of Amazon businesses, but making a bucket of cash, seriously. Yeah. And just with that consolidation, when basically these companies, they buy up these these small businesses, and let's say that all the products are all sourced from China, what they'll do is they'll get all the manufacturers to ship all of the products from all these different brands to a port where they can put it all in one container, save so much on the supply side and the freight side, as it's all consolidated across and then all broken out straight into Amazon, and they're finding ways and synergies to, when you combine lots of businesses together, to save a lot of money and be much more profitable. So they're very, very profitable businesses to invest in. And also to operate. Yeah, so
this is the key, find a way to be more profitable, more efficient, just get business done, get shit done. And this is pretty much the way you should approach this kind of business. So Chris, every time we always keep our videos very short because we would like, who's interested to not find it boring, but also to get in touch with you. So how can they find you? Do you have any contact, website, or a Facebook group they can join?
Yeah, probably the best thing is just to ping me a message on Facebook, just over at theaustralianseller.com. I'm just Chris Thomas, got a bald head. So hopefully pretty easy to find. So please join my group. I'm pretty careful about who I let in and out. There's almost 2,000 people in there. So each one of those has been vetted by me. And so it's a really good little group to join. So anybody's welcome.
That's cool. So I guess we will leave your contact information below in the description. Guys, yes, remember to follow our channel, to subscribe, to hit the like button, to get in touch with Chris if you're interested. And thank you very much for being on the show with us. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks, David.